Well, good afternoon, Saltley students and staff. It's Mr. White here. Joined with me this afternoon is Mr. Weir, and we both thought that we'd take the opportunity to express our thanks and round up what has been quite an extraordinary half term. So, good afternoon, Mr. Weir.
Good afternoon, Mr. White. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to have this opportunity to speak to the Saltley family.
So on the front of our podcast today, I've chosen the picture of our outstanding learner quality of resilience and commitment, because from my point of view, I can't help but be absolutely overwhelmed with the resilience and commitment that I've seen from the Saltley students and staff this half term. Despite all the difficult circumstances, some of their levels of work and output that perhaps we'll touch on in a bit, and the attitudes and the commitment to really trying to engage with learning, be that from the students or the staff, has been absolutely first class. So, Mr. Witt, have you seen any highlights worthy of note this half term?
I've seen many, Mr. White, thank you, and you've reported those to me and highlighted them, and it's just been fantastic to see the innovation. If I address to our colleagues and the staff, first of all, the innovation that has gone on in terms of the use of technology to support learning, alongside the great effort to help some students who perhaps have struggled still to engage with that learning by distributing laptops and providing other resources. So it's been fantastic to see the range of activities going on and the way that learning is being supported using different apps within Microsoft Teams. And it's just a really good example of how Saltley staff come together to support the students. On the basis of the students, I will praise one particular piece of work, and it will lead me into something else, which is a piece of music work. And if many schools have really struggled to keep the arts going in normal times, let alone the way that we do at Saltley and within our MAT, and see that still continuing through these times is absolutely fantastic, as we know that art subjects and that wider range of subjects that we study is so important. The reason that one comes to mind is the fact that such has been the quality of the innovation and the ideas and the effort the staff have put in, that Saltley played a very prominent role in a recent event involving 6 other multi-academy trusts, all based in Birmingham. Now, you think we are 7 schools in our trust, so if you multiply that by another 6, we're looking at least 36. I think it was probably about 40 schools represented in this meeting from across the city. And it showed us that we really were at the cutting edge of using this technology to support teaching and learning and other aspects of school life. I've been really impressed by the messages going out on YouTube and the way that we've got reading groups going and the whole way we are trying to recreate everything we have in school as best as we can in these very difficult times. So I want to thank the senior staff who brought that together and contributed to that presentation to the other groups of schools in Birmingham, but also to everybody, because it reflects the very, very hard and creative and committed work that has gone on to make sure that we've made our online learning as good as it can be. And so I want to thank the staff for that and to reassure you as the students that the staff at Saltley really are at the front line here of developing the very best ways of doing learning in a remote way. And I'm sure there'll be many things we'll learn from that, which we'll be able to use as we start getting back to normal. At the end of the presentation we did, the music that had been created was played out. And I know that many of the other teachers and trust leaders who are in that session were very moved by the fact that we were able to celebrate a piece of creative musical writing as part of our presentation. And if anything represents the skills and commitment of our staff, teaching and support staff, then that was one very good example, which I know we could draw upon examples across all the subjects and also the support, the pastoral support that we give as Saltley. As the students...
No, thank you. Honestly, Mr. Ware, I mean, please carry on, but thank you. Those are some really kind words being said there.
If I may, Mr. White, just to finish, I just want to also, I'm fully aware that these innovations have happened because we are able to respond to the students engaging in very difficult times with the learning that's been provided. And I just want to congratulate and thank those students who have watched the YouTube clips, done the Kahoot quizzes, uploaded and responded to the work, and engaged with the opportunities they've been given.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
I also want to join you in those, and I also want to just say thank you to all of the other staff who've done some really wonderful things. So thank you to all of the office staff who've ensured that every family has got their free school meals vouchers. We've been able to distribute literally thousands and thousands of pounds worth of vouchers to families that really need that support at this time, and that's wonderful. I'd like to say thank you to all of the teachers that started up our book club, and I know that's something you were very proud of, that children reading for pleasure from our online library and continuing with that extracurricular activity is really important, isn't it?
Indeed, and I think that was one of the highlights again of the presentation we gave, and a very good example of where Saltley are really making sure that we're leaving no stone unturned in using the opportunities that the technology and software give us to try and make sure that we're doing the best possible job for our young people in this time.
I'd like to just quick notice, it's difficult to thank everybody, but I'd like to thank the ICT team who tirelessly supported us and actually allowed this to happen. Without them, we wouldn't have these platforms. And even the cleaners who every day are deep cleaning a certain area of the school ready for us to come back for our reopening. So for students and staff alike, it's February the 22nd that you might like to try and tune in to the announcements from Parliament that should give some clarity about when school should open. So in between then, it just really leaves us to say thank you very much and to have a very safe half term. Anything else, Mr. Weir?
No, thank you, Mr. White. Just also for Year 11 students, we should find out on that 22nd date the arrangements for GCSEs as well. So ready is a day to keep an eye on the news. But just to echo what you've said, thank you for everybody's efforts and have a great week next week.
All right. Saltley, thank you very much. Have a good half term and we'll see you when we return.